Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lugness Monster, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 Star Wars The Black Series Clone Wars figures that I want to see in the line. 2023 is the 20th anniversary of the original 2D Tartakovsky Clone Wars, and because of that, Hasbro is doing a 20th anniversary celebration of all of the Clone Wars, so I believe that does include the 2D Tartakovsky series, as well as the 2008 Clone Wars, the 3D, of course, Clone Wars, and then I believe this also includes like Attack the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I'm not really sure, but I do believe it might include it. So we'll have to wait and see till we get some more reveals. But I do believe that they said it would focus on mainly the animated TV shows. Go ahead and jump right into the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 10, I just gave it to, this is pretty generic, so I'm kind of breaking the rules here, but just new types of clone troopers that we don't have in the line yet. Like, I want a Phase 1 clone pilot. I want some of the gunners and the ARF troopers and some of like the tactical clones and the Geonosian clones. There's so many different like cool looking troopers and different like helmets and different designs for these troopers that we just haven't seen in the line yet, and I think it'd be a pretty nice addition to the line. Obviously there's a few new helmet molds or new chest piece molds and different stuff here and there, but for the most part the main body is reuse, and obviously a repaint here and there, and there you go, you got a brand new awesome looking figure. And there's just so much potential here, and I think there's so much that they could do, and there's just so much wasted potential, and I really like to see what they could do with it. And like I said, the Clone Wars line is just endless, so just pump out some more of these random background kind of clone troopers. And then number 9 is kind of cheating it as well, but I'm going with any colored droid. Battle droid to be specific. So like I want the droid commander, I want the security droid, I want the pilot, just all of the colored battle droids. There's so many of these different like ranked battle droids that we just don't have in the line yet. Like, how can we have the Republic Commando battle droid but not just have a standard like droid commander? How is that not in the line yet? There's so much potential here, and they're just cheap, easy repaints of the already battle droid that we have existing. So like, why not just repaint it? And like I said, there's so many options, and the Separatists are just so underrepresented in the Black Series that a few battle droid repaints would be pretty good. Coming in at number 8, I gave it to Obi-Wan Kenobi in his seasons, 3 through 7 Clone Wars outfits, and that's basically just the Jedi robes, but with the clone gauntlets. Recently, last year, we actually did get Mace Windu with his Clone Wars outfit, and this figure does include the Jedi robes with the clone gauntlets mold. This is brand new for the Black Series, and I think this should be reused as many times as possible for all of the potential Jedi Clone Wars figures that we could get, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is a great place to start. For starters, I think we just need a brand new robed like Episode 3 Kenobi, and so if you go ahead and you make a new one of those, throw on these gauntlets, then you have a brand new, of course, Revenge of the Sith Kenobi, which we desperately need, and we also do have a Clone Wars Kenobi too, so it's a 2-for-1 there, and I think like I said, it's just a nice addition to the Black Series. You can't get too many Obi-Wans, and this would be a great version of the outfit that we don't have yet. In the number 7 spot, we're swinging back to some more of the Separatists, and we have the Commando Droid. The Commando Droid is seen in a lot of episodes of the Clone Wars, and it's just one of those cooler designs that I'd like to see what Hasbro could do with it. Hasbro kind of knocks droids out of the park most of the time, and so with something as sleek as the Commando Droid, I think they could do a lot of good with a figure like this. And again, the Separatists are super underrepresented in the line, so I'll take any droid we can get, and I think the Commando Droid would be a nice addition to the line. Moving on to the number 6 spot, we're staying on that Separatist hype train, and that's because number 6 spot is the Droideka. Now the Droideka is an interesting figure. I'm guessing because of its size, it'll probably be a deluxe figure if we do get it, and I think the main reason we haven't got it is just because the question is, how would you do the blue shield? And honestly, I think the question to that is just don't. There's tons of other like 3 3/4 inch Droideka figures in the line, and none of them have the blue shield, so why would we need the blue shield now? And plus, there's tons of times in the movies where it doesn't even have the blue shield, so I think it's one of those where I want a Droideka, so if I get it without the shield, I'm happy. I think it'd be cool to see how they would do the shield, but in all reality, we really don't need it. And then Yeah, again, just Separatist. We need more Separatist droids, and droidicas are pretty dope, pretty awesome, and again, would just make a nice addition to the line. In the number 5 spot, I gave it to the Rancor Battalion clone troopers. So these are all of the ARC troopers from the Defend Camino episodes. So we have like Blitz, Havoc, Hammer, and Colt. I believe those are the 4 that are in the episode, and they're just cool looking ARC troopers. The first ones we ever saw in the TV show. They look incredible, and I'd love to see them in the Black Series. We have that ARC trooper mold, and it's just going to waste without all these different repaints. So please repaint the ARC trooper mold and give us as many different ARC troopers as possible. And I think Rancor Battalion is a great place to start. TVC just got all of them recently, so I'd love to see that in the Black Series as well. And at the number 4 spot, I gave it to Commander Neo and Bakara. Now, these ones I really want in the line, and not because they're Clone Wars figures, but because they're Revenge of the Sith commanders. They're the only 2 commanders in Revenge of the Sith that we don't have in the line yet, and it's something that we desperately need. These commanders are awesome. They don't play a huge role, but they look great in the movie, and like I said, they're really the only 2 commanders from episode 3 that we don't have yet. And you can also make the argument that these were in Clone Wars. Now, they had even less screen time in Clone Wars than they did in the movie, so they're very, very background characters, but shown in the photo here, we do have them in the Clone Wars. I believe Neo's just standing in the background of one of the scenes. He doesn't do much. And then Bakara is a very, very, very tiny hologram in one scene in Season 7. So they both are in the Clone Wars. Now, granted, like I said, very hard to spot at some points. They're kind of in the background, but they're there, which means I think they qualify for a Clone Wars figure. Now, coming in at the number 3 spot, just more of the named 501st troopers. There's so many of these troopers that were in countless episodes. They went from their Phase 1 armor to the Phase 2 throughout all the seasons of the Clone Wars that we just really need in the line. To name a few, obviously there's ones like Hardcase, Kix, Jesse. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you have ones like Dogma or even Appa. And there's just so many of those named 501st that would make great troopers, easy repaints. You don't have to make any new molds, maybe aside from like a backpack piece for Kix, but there's just so many of them, and like I said, easy repaints, and they just make great clone troopers in the line. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the Super Battle Droid. Now this figure, I have a lot of high hopes for, because one, it's just one that a lot of people want. A lot of people have been asking for a Super Battle Droid, and there's really no reason we haven't got it yet. It'd be incredible, and plus with the lack of Separatist figures, this one would make a great addition to the line. And plus, with how good Hasbro has been doing with all of the droid figures in the line lately, I think a Super Battle Droid would be incredible, and I'd really love to see how they'd pull it off. Like I said, with Hasbro's weathering and their molding, and like, look at what they did with the Dark Trooper. If you could get that skill into something like a Super Battle Droid, it would by far be a top 5 figure all time. And I think Hasbro could pull it off, and I think it would be incredible. So yeah, really there's no reason why we don't have it in the line yet, and I think it should have come a lot sooner. So number 2 goes to the Super Battle Droid. Then coming in at the number 1 spot, this is a surprise to no one if you watch the channel, and yes, you've guessed it, it's ARC Trooper 5s. Come on, we need ARC Trooper 5s in the line. We have the ARC Trooper mold, it's an easy repaint, and he's arguably one of the biggest clone troopers in all of the show. You know, besides Rex, besides Cody, next is ARC Trooper 5s. ARC Trooper 5s is one of the biggest clones in the show, and he's just one of the most developed characters too, which I love to see. And because of that, I think he would make a great Black Series figure. We already have Echo, we already have a ton of other 501sts, so adding 5s to the mix would be excellent. Look great on the 501st shelf, and we just need him in the line. Come on, I don't care if you give him the ARC Trooper helmet or the Phase 2 helmet or anything like that, just give me 5s. Honestly, you could do the Phase 1 5s at this point and I would be happy. I just want to see 5s in the line. So yeah, that is going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed, the like button and subscribe, and leave some comments down below on what you think your top 10 would be, because I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear what some of the figures you guys want to see are. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.